In a follow-up to his comment that the exercise of reparations needed to be first addressed here, Leacock explained that there existed a system of class which brought with it some struggles, including a system of slavery.
There's too much slave-like discrimination in the Grenadines, and we need to clean up our act here before we go abroad to tell other people how to fix their own houses. I'm making that point, Mr.
He continued in his debate on the reparation motion, saying that he had issues with one of the clauses included in the motion. Clause 4 states to put on record high regard and commendation to Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves for his commitment to and determination in initiating the reparations conversation. However, Leacock is of the view that this should be replaced with something he said was more constructive before getting the support of the members of the opposition.
I would have great difficulty, Mr. Speaker, great difficulty in endorsing the Wilberforce clause. The Wilberforce clause, clause 4 of this discussion, that in order for my support for reparations to go forward, I must today come and put on record high regard and commendation to Prime Minister Dr. Gonsalves. Can't come to that. Not some who consciously, deliberately have ensured that my family and other families can't make an equal living in St. Vincent and Grenadines. Can't. Too hard a hurdle for me to climb over.
Meanwhile, Parliamentary Representative for Central Kingston, St. Clair Leacock, wants Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves to apologize for what he says are racist remarks made in various presentations in the House. During his contribution to the debate on the motion on the progress of the reparations efforts, which was put forward by Senator Jomo Thomas, Leacock said that the issue of reparations started in SVG, and because of the racist system that existed here previously, reparations ought to begin on home soil first.
Charity begins at home. Yes. Reparations redress begins right here in St. Vincent and Grenadines. Mr. Prime Minister. Mr. Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, sorry. Do you know how insulted I feel? How insulted I feel when I listen to a comment from you that you're the blackest Prime Minister. Oh, you can know about my black. You're not black. So you can't feel my blackness. And it's totally out of order to refer to yourself as being any blackest Prime Minister. Picture me talking about me, the best Portuguese Prime Minister in St. Vincent and Grenadines. I may well have been because they're black Portuguese, but they may not go down easily. This has nothing to do with you're doing a fine job or otherwise, and you're not doing a fine job as Prime Minister. But you cannot, and you must apologize for that and several other remarks.
Meantime, Senator Thomas says the only way as a people we are going to win the fight for reparations against genocide and slavery is for us to be united.
Play politics with it. If we play politics with it, Mr. Speaker, the British, the French, the Dutch, and all of the others may delight in our confusion, and they may never allow for any developmental conversation which we are calling for. And this is why I call on us to be absolutely united on this point. Even where we may not be sure, I ask us to go out and read the documents, understand the history of reparations. There's a whole plethora of books from all over that we can read to bring ourselves up to speed. All of us in here, I'm confident, have computers, have access to the internet. You don't even have to buy the books. You can go on there and read. But we have to be united on this point. If I had a black man as the head of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we have some black men all over the world. In fact, when the issue of the conference against racism and xenophobia was held in South Africa in 2001, I was part of that effort, even though I lived in the United States. But who came out against reparations? Some of the top black people in the world. Condoleezza Rice, Colin Powell, the most preeminent dame, I can't remember her name, I think she's from Jamaica or Guyana, came out against reparations. But who stood on the side and said, yes, we need to apologize? The Archbishop of Canterbury came out and said slavery was wrong, the church should not have been involved in it, and it was a crime against humanity. So, my brothers and sisters, honorable members, Mr. Speaker, we cannot get to the point where we begin to go down the color line and talk who should lead because of this person is white and this person is black.
He noted that the best thing that can happen for reparations is if the Queen of England is to say what happened over the years during the time of slavery was wrong.
Same way she said it as it relates to the Maoris in New Zealand, and to publicly apologize. But we have not had that kind of public apology.
A two-day training workshop on the development of a national juvenile justice strategy got underway at the National Insurance Services building earlier today. It is expected that the two-day workshop will provide support in preparation of an integrated national strategy on the juvenile justice system. Gwendolyn Bergen of the Ministry of National Mobilization said that the Juvenile Justice Reform Project has afforded this country to attempt and achieve a number of things, including the hosting of the first national consultation, the completion of a legislative review on the juvenile justice sector, and now marked the beginning of the second phase.
We therefore anticipate that with the proposed development of a national strategy to arm our nation with policy directions and framework for reforming our nation's youth, that we will be well poised and positioned to provide a restorative approach to dealing with the crime and antisocial and behavioral symptoms once identified.
Bernard Reality White, a local Calypsonian, was arrested and charged by the police for inflicting grievous bodily harm upon his brother, 34-year-old Fitzroy White of Mackey's Hill. The incident is said to have occurred on May 31st, 2014 at the family home, during which time the 65-year-old accused took a cup of hot tea and threw it into the face of his younger brother. He appeared at the Kingston Magistrates Court today and maintained his innocence. He was allowed bail in the sum of $4,000 with one surety and not to have any contact with the victim, his brother. June 17, 2014 is the date set for trial. A new board of directors has been elected to lead the SVG Cooperative Credit Union League at the organization's 34th annual general meeting. The meeting was held under the theme 50 Years of Cooperative Alliance, Consolidation and Expansion. The president-elect is Kelvin Pompey, with Dwight Lewis as the vice president. The other members of the board are Camilla Mandeville, Colin May, Colin John, Gwendolyn Bergen, Philbert Gould, Cecilia Williams, Gwendolyn Swift, and Tekla Andrews. Going forward, the League says it hopes to continue to strategically promote opportunities for cooperatives to work better collectively. Still to come, Shadisha George, 59th Miss SVG title holder. More stories on the local scene when SVG-TV News continues with Carnival Beat. Stay with us. Welcome to Carnival Beat. After months of preparations, the Miss SVG 2014 has been staged and the new queen was crowned in the presence of hundreds of Vincentians who patronized the event at the Victoria Park last Saturday evening. More in this report from Jamisha Wright.
It got started with all 8 contestants paying a tribute to their ancestors under the theme, "We came, we stayed, we contributed," in costumes which replaced locally made ones by Vincentian masked men. However, when competition was over and the results were tallied, Miss Lime Shadisha George was announced winner of the 59th Miss SVG title. In cupping the coveted title at Carnival City Victoria Park on Saturday, May 31st, George was adjudged Best Talent.
Yes,
Best in Evening Wear.
Tonight, Shadisha wears Tubana, a gown inspired by tribal royalty and given a name in the Luma Saba language of our East African forefathers of Uganda, means united. Tubana embraces our African heritage.
The first runner-up award went to Miss Musty Company Limited, Carla Jaliso, who was also adjudged Best in Swimwear.
Pass out, hey, soca music up in our green. Ballin', girl dread, them girl ya at them up the dancing scene. Sign, oh now.
Settling for the second runner-up position is Miss Agricultural Input Warehouse Limited, Shakel Bob, having secured the award for Best Interview.
You have been involved in athletics at school. Do you believe that physical education should be an optional or a mandatory subject at secondary school level? Give us reasons for your answer.
I do believe that it should be made mandatory. I have always been athletically inclined, and I believe that participating in a sports helps you to relax. It helps to take you away from the stress of the schoolwork you have to do. In addition to this, it helps to develop your self-discipline and helps you to be a well-respected individual.
Other awards that were up for grabs on the night were the Beauty Shows Committee's award for attendance at training session, which went to Shakel Bob. Bob also secured the Miss Photogenic Award and Most Community Spirited. For the first year, the Beauty Shows Committee presented an award for the Best Community Support on road trips, which went to Jamila Neverson, Miss Lotto. Miss Super 6 Vanica Hope took the award for Miss Congeniality. The other contestants were Miss Imperial Optical Incorporated, Felicia Batiste, Celeste Blair, Miss Metrocenter General Insurance Company Limited, and Tatiana Lespier, Miss Beckwood Beach Hotel. Miss SVG 2014, Shadisha George, is now busy putting plans in place for the staging of the Miss Carnival pageant, slated for Friday, July 4th. Reporting for Carnival Beat, I am Jamisha Wright.
Meanwhile, following the announcement of the results, SVG-TV caught up with Miss SVG 2014, Shadisha George, who says her win is a testimony that hard work does pay off.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. Some may say this is a well-deserved win, while others may be of a different opinion. What do you have to say, and how are you feeling tonight?
Well, I'm extremely elated, and hard work definitely pays off. The pageant from the get-go was one that was established as a very competitive one, and it was just a matter of delivering on the night and being in the favor of the judges.
Great. I wish you all the best in Miss Carnival.
Thank you so much.
All right.
How long will it take you to learn that talent?
I started my talent in April. Oh no, in March. I started my talent in March. But that is something that I always wanted to do, and it was just a matter of getting it done.
What is it called exactly?
It's aerial dancing.
Okay. So you have a skiing and you fall?
No. And I never had any extreme casualties either while practicing.
The success of Hits 103.7 Island Network Incorporated Soca Swing 2014 on Sunday night has been regarded as a show which sets the tone for what can be expected of Vincy Mas 2014. Dubbed the Big People Party, hundreds of carnival enthusiasts flocked to Victoria Park to share the experience with a lineup of performing artists, which included the best of SVG, as well as Grenadian Mr. Killer and Trinidadian Farmer Nappy. Zulika Lewis tells us more in this report.
Organizers of the 2014 Hits 103.7 Island Network Inc. Soca Swing are being commended for hosting a big people party that catered to all ages. Providing the opportunity for young and upcoming artists, many persons is of the view that the future of soca in St. Vincent and the Grenadines will be a bright one. It was then the turn of the seasoned artists of Scorpion, Fire Empress and the Lime Soca Dance, Hans, Chanel, Luther and Fireman Hooper. Reigning Soca Monarch, Gamal Skinny Fabulous Doyle, Red Button, paved the way for the night's regional artists. SVG-TV News caught up with some of the artists after the show.
From judging it, it was very great. Yeah, that's as much I can say. It was great. It was epic because I see the fans them was really rallying, rooting and getting around crazy. So I'm quite pleased with it.
What can the Vincentian public expect from Royal for Vincy Mass 2014?
You can expect a lot of madness, high energy performances, you know, and proper execution. They were rapid as usual, high energy from Royal.
I'm very happy. I'm elated. You know, it's a great feeling to be back home and perform, you know, to the fans, you know, to the whole public. It's a great experience. I'm very happy right now. So, soca swing, as you know, is a stepping stone, you know, for artists to determine how the season normally would play out. You understand? So I feel great about it. I laid on a solid performance tonight, and it's gonna be more energy, more vibes, and big things for 2014 from Hans. Yeah.
One of the featured acts, known for coining the term roly-poly, thanked the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for making him feeling home away from home.
Is this your first time here?
No. I've been to St. Vincent a couple times before, definitely.
And how was your experience this trip?
Wicked, bad, sweet, pretty, beautiful, amazing. How can I tell you, man? You just, yeah, wicked. Performance was wicked. The crowd was wicked. We had a load of roly-poly, a truckload of roly-poly on stage. It was bad.
Mr. Killer told SVG-TV News that he is pleased at the impact he is making throughout the Caribbean and even internationally.
Darling, roly-poly done gone international a long time. The Caribbean is like home for roly-poly, and roly-poly been dominating the soca market for quite some months now. And I mean, the video has set history. No soca video has ever done that in the history of soca music, and still climbing.
The next show on the Carnival calendar will see the semi-finals of Calypsonians in SVG. Fantastic Friday, June 27th. For SVG TV News, I am Zulika Lewis.